I learned about tax lien and tax deed investing way back in about 1997. And as many of you know, I started investing in tax liens and tax deeds back in around 2005. I got ripped off. I got ripped off pretty badly by a company, and I don't want that to happen to you. And one of the things I think that's important for people to understand is it's not just about going out there and recklessly bidding and trying to make money. Of course, everybody wants to make money, but it's designing a strategy that's right for the investor, right? There different locations, different geographies offer different kinds of deals. Tax liens and tax deeds are two different things, right? Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, tax liens and tax deeds, obviously you're buying different things. And there's hybrid states, there's states that sell liens, there's states that sell deeds, and then there's states that sell tax lien certificates. And everything has a different strategy when you invest. You kind of have to know beforehand what the timelines are, how much money you're going to have to bring to the table, what your competition is going to be. And once you know all these things and know what your resources are in terms of time, money, and how long you're basically have the patience to wait, that's how you then scope out which locations you're going to go into.
Right,
And
right.
it's
Okay.
a lot of different pieces going together into
It,
the picture.
Now, tell us about you had a big success story. I mean, you've had several, but one of them is really remarkable. Tell us about that story where I know you've got a video on that where you bought a house for what, about $1,000?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's actually right here in Savannah, and that's not the only one. There's several. I bought a whole bunch here, and I show up at these sales. Sometimes nobody bids against me. And
Wow.
so I get the property for the back taxes, which in my case was $800. One time was $1,500. And I did fix the house up a little bit, made it into an Airbnb rental, and it rents for $1,500 to $2,000 a month.
And
And
you
I
bought it and
paid
you bought it for about $1,000?
about $1,500. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And
So
nobody bid against me.
you
Nobody bid against me. I was the only bidder.
okay, so you bought a house, you now own it. Well, maybe you've refinanced it, I don't know. But initially, you owned it free and clear, and you paid for the house in 1 month
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
rental income. That is extraordinary. That is just extraordinary. I
It's
mean,
my favorite.
people have to be thinking though, and there are infomercials on tax sale
Yeah.
investing, and we've all seen them probably. People have to be thinking, what's the catch?
Yeah.
What's the catch? What's the hard part of this?
Well, the hard part is that people think that there's a catch and they don't
Okay.
put in the effort to actually think about and study the market, study the
Mhm.
properties, learn how to do your due diligence. And sometimes they fall on their face. First off, most people don't even believe that it's possible. And then when they do get into it, they just blindly buy whatever. And then they fall on their face and, they lose their money because
Hmm.
they might just buy a property that's really not worth anything. And
Right.
then they get out of the market and leave. And that's when I come in and get all the good deals because everybody else is left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
fantastic.
it's very much persistent learning and learning what you're buying, not buying any decrepit properties that you can't use it for
Yeah.
anything.
Okay, now you mentioned earlier, and I don't know if we mentioned this on the recording or when we were talking for a moment off air, about institutional investors being in this game, and some of the auctions being much more competitive than others. Tell us about that.
Well, there's a lot of markets that are just, there's a lot of desire for real estate. They're just high-end markets like big metropolitan cities, sometimes smaller areas as well. You get banks that come in and just kind of have these really deep pockets and sweep everything off the table.
Hmm.
But in some states, governments actually coordinate with institutional investors and sell properties in batches only.
Hmm.
So you, as an individual, you couldn't even just go buy one property. You'd have to buy the whole batch of 300 or something, and
Right.
that's not affordable. So what I can cover is some of the states where it's a little bit more beneficial to go into for individual investors, and also some states that probably should stay away from if you
Yeah.
want to utilize this strategy.